So you're all getting ready for your road trip.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Christopher's got a number of appointments set up for the first week.
Making some calls, sending some emails.
That's all you can do.
Mm-hmm.
See who wants opportunity to knock on them.
That's right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Guessing we've probably killed enough time. We can go ahead and say welcome to another edition of Minerals Live, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Well, let's get this over to here and get that over to there.
Minerals
Very good.
Live.
Minerals Live.
Boy.
Springtime in the Rockies.
Yeah.
Is that a recent picture? It sure looks like you could go out and snap that photo right now.
Right now, yep.
Mm-hmm. Snow-capped mountains.
Lots of mountains lots of snow in the mountains. Did they have they said where we're doing relative to our annual snowfall?
I have not heard.
Yeah.
But we got to be doing okay.
Yeah, we got to be doing okay up in the mountains for sure.
They need a bountiful season, though, to get things caught up in the west. So,
For sure.
Salt Lake City and down.
Oh, is that right? It's been pretty dry out there.
Really dry.
Wow. Well, we're going to get a little bit more this weekend. If you're coming this way, you may have some fresh snow up in the mountains if you're going skiing.
Yep.
And if you're coming this way and you want to stop by the Collector's Edge, don't hesitate to give us a call.
Yep.
You can holler at me on my cell phone, 303-885-6885. We'd love to see you come by and take a look at our beautiful gallery full of mineral specimens.
You better get to work. They all look like they're in boxes to me. I'm looking through the window over here.
That's just the boxes that are in front of the cases.
Yes.
Plenty of good stuff.
Not quite set up to our normal after Tucson yet.
That's true.
But we'll get there.
Yeah.
If you give us a call, we'll get there.
We will. We'd love to see you.
Yep, absolutely. Anyway, and if you come on Friday, you can probably play golf still.
Yeah, you can.
That's the beauty of this time of year in Colorado.
Yeah, because it's like 60 degrees out there. It's a beautiful day.
Beautiful outside
Yep.
right
I
now.
went down to the Octopus and had my car
I noticed
washed
that.
and detailed.
Looks like you even got armor all on the tires.
Yeah.
Man, they
And that's a bargain, actually.
what do they do? What is it?
$23 for a lot of handwork. They wash your windows
Nice.
inside and out and clean the car. I didn't even recognize it. I thought it was somebody else's car.
Because I definitely need to have mine done. That's,
Yeah.
I'll think about that.
It wasn't too bad.
Yep. Anyway,
Just a recommendation if you're in Denver.
back to minerals.
There were a lot of minerals caked onto the outside of the car.
Oh,
There
yeah, that's
were,
true.
for sure.
Yeah, mag chloride.
From the last snowfall.
Right. Oh, my gosh. They like to dump that stuff. But it does help. So,
It does.
yep. A little traction is always good.
Well, we're glad everybody joined us today
Yep.
because we got a lot of exciting things on the horizon.
We do.
Our company is participating in a major regional show here
That's
in
right.
the Rockies.
We were just done with Tucson, and now it's time for the spring show of the Rockies.
Yep. And this is one of those that Sandra Gonzalez promotes. She always does a great job with her shows. And this is held at one of the nicer convention centers here in the Denver metro area. It's out east towards the airport.
Right.
And it's at the Crown Plaza Hotel. It's near Chambers and 40th, I think,
That
is
sounds
the
right.
general area. And they have a very large convention center there.
That's huge.
Lots of free parking. And if you're anywhere in the surrounding states and are itching to come to a gem and mineral show, there'll be at least, I would imagine, 100 dealers or more out there. She usually has a full show. I know Collector's Edge will be participating out there with I think a 16 by 20 foot booth full of beautiful mineral specimens.
Yep.
So,
And I imagine, countrywide, these shows that fire off in March and April are really great shows to attend because this is when all your local dealers and everything have been to Tucson and come back
Right.
with all sorts of great minerals
that's right.
to bring back.
Very, very true. So this show is usually very well attended, and occasionally there might be some snowfall still in the middle of April.
It's happened.
So you could have
You're
some
ready.
fun times.
Bring a coat.
Yeah, bring a coat. We don't guarantee it'll be like today in the 60s and sunny. But it'll be a great show, and you'll see all of our staff out there at the booth. Craig Weibert and Jennifer Quist will be out there. and they will have some of their flats of wholesale and keystone material. We'll have some display cases set up with beautiful keystone material.
Yep.
They have a lot of really super things at 50% off in that booth.
Yep.
And they always do really, really well at that show. There's a lot of people who come, so I think you'll be very impressed with the spring show here in Denver.
Yep. It's a good time.
Yep.
I always used to look forward to it when Marty was running it down at the Holiday Inn, and now it's even bigger and better.
Yeah.
So,
So
can't beat it.
It's a lovely time. I know you'll enjoy going out and seeing all the beautiful mineral specimens.
Absolutely. And in case you can't make it to the spring show of the Rockies, the spring show of the Rockies can come to you.
That's true.
These two guys
Yep.
are going mobile again.
Christopher is working the telephones and the email to set appointments with people in Texas, through the southeast. We're going up the east coast and back through the upper Midwest, making a few stops in the great state of Tennessee and Kentucky.
Yep.
So we're going to be all over the country, showing a van load of beautiful mineral specimens to those who would like to see them. So.
May even hopefully have a few new things that we didn't even have in Tucson.
Oh, we will for sure.
Oh, yeah. we
I got like a half a cart full back to Emily 2 days ago, brand new stuff out of the lab that's been mounted, and we just took a big shipment over to Sunnywood, who is going to put some custom bases under some of our new products. For instance, we didn't have at Tucson some of our great new cassiterite specimens out of Bolivia, and we'll have those for the first time on this trip. And there's other things like that are new to our inventory. If you didn't make it to Tucson, we'll have some of the brand new Paraiba tourmalines that we'll talk about a little later in the show. But first time really that you've ever had an opportunity to buy crystallized mineral specimens of that very rare
gem
variety of tourmaline. Yep. So you'll enjoy seeing those amongst lots of other new things that we'll have with us.
So stay tuned for specimen number 6. It's not a roto this time.
That's right.
Yep.
It's going to be something blue.
Something blue.
Yep.
But,
we're busy making appointments, but we would love to, if you're interested, if you're anywhere in the east part of the country, we try our best to get to stop by your home and show you a selection of some of the newest and finest minerals we have at the Collector's Edge.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss it, folks. Anywho, well, you just want to go ahead and jump into specimen number 1 already, or
unless there's
anything else you guys want to chat about? No. Keep some secrets for next week.
Yeah, why not?
Alrighty then, we'll just do it. Specimen number 1.
Well, this
Love
is
it.
pretty.
It is a nice piece.
Is this one of the new ones that just came out of the lab, or is this?
Let's take a look at our lab. Oh gosh, no, it can't be with an AC Quartz number on the back.
Okay. This is a great one. It looks somewhat reminiscent of a couple I just put into the IMS, into our inventory management system.
Right.
Yeah, it's got a very nice amethyst color. And, Christopher has a very keen eye for color, having been working with gemstones for a lot of years. So he was saying that a lot of these are showing some smoky character to them. And this one shows it a lot more than the ones we're seeing the other day as well.
But the purple's definitely dominant here.
Right.
Yeah. Really nice amethyst. And this is a big piece. What's the size of this one, Richard?
This one measures 8 by 13.3 by 6.5 centimeters.
And I'll tell you, I just glanced at the sheet Richard always puts together, detailing these pieces. And the price on this is super good for this size specimen. It's nearly, it's 5.5 inches across, folks.
Right.
So this is a nice cabinet size specimen, and the tallest of those special quartz crystals. Some people call them cactus quartz. Some people call them spirit quartz. What's so very cool about these is that they do have a typical termination for quartz, a rhombohedral termination. But on the prism faces, you have these incredible drues of crystals that have grown up on all of the prism faces of these quartz at the Bokenhouthoek location. And it's just so classic. They look like the needles of cactus on a saguaro or other forms of cacti. And the quartz is actually quite gemmy and very amethyst in the terminations. And then you have all of this drues of quartz down the prism faces. And they're really just beautiful specimens.
Highly lustrous.
And you're not going to believe how cheap this is. I just priced a handful of them that, in my opinion, don't have anywhere near as good a color and were approximately the same size. And the price on this piece today is, wouldn't you say it's about a third of what I was putting on the new ones we just prepared out of the lab? So if you want a screaming good deal, you definitely want to get a hold of Richard on this. And this has actually more intense, more saturated color than some of the new material that we've gotten. So if you're always enamored with this Cactus Quartz out of the Bokenhouthoek area in South Africa, you'll definitely want to get a hold of Richard on this one, and you can reach him at minerals@collectorsedge.com. I don't think this one's going to last very long, so you might want to be the first one who sends an email to Richard saying, I want that piece, because it's a cabinet-sized specimen for $625.
You went ahead and did it. I was going to say, if you just want to move on to specimen number 2, and that's
we got to pause for just a moment. Let everybody pause to send that email real quick. Before we go on.
There you go. There it is.
All right,
it's official.
It's official. This thing is a great piece for that price. Did this come from Bauman?
It's an AC quartz, so I don't know if it came from Bauman or not.
No, maybe it was. No, it doesn't look like it. It must have been one of the lots we purchased pretty quickly after we bought Uli's collection.
So
that's a lovely piece, folks.
Shop early, shop often.
Yeah, you want to grab that one right away. That's a beautiful thing.
And specimen number 2, I happen to like very much.
Yes,
classic Arizona specimen.
Is this out of our new
Yes, it is.
collection out of Florida?
It is indeed.
How fun. This was probably self-collected by the gentleman whose collection we purchased. And this is a really cool copper with cuprite from the coal mine. And since it was self-collected, the poor soul who had to go underground there to collect this said it came from the 1100 level in the coal mine, and that's in the Bisbee, Cochise County, Arizona area. And it shows really nicely crystallized copper and some lovely crystals of cuprite in association with the copper. So this is a significant piece. And it's a nice size. What's the size of this one, Rich?
This one measures 5.5 by 6.5 by 6.5 centimeters.
Okay, so a box. Well, it's a box buster miniature. It's 6.5 in 2 directions, and very nicely crystallized copper. You're looking at approximately 3 millimeter size for the maximum crystals there, and then the cuprite crystals that are also on this specimen are up to about 1.5 millimeter, and it looks like there's some copper staining in the matrix rock as well. Just really quite colorful and very attractive, and anything that came out of Bisbee is always highly collectible. So just a really lovely mineral specimen.
I agree. Let me get us back to the turntable here. There we go.
Did we say what
Give
we're
her
asking
one last
for this?
spin
I
on
don't
it.
think so.
Not yet. Thought we'd give her one last turn before we spoil that. Get back down here. There we go. There we go. And the price today is, I believe, $500.
Isn't that great?
Yep.
It's a wonderful little piece, and good full-size miniature. great crystallization in the copper and in the cuprite, and a very great price. I think you'll be pleased with this piece as well when you get it.
Absolutely.
And we send everything on the outbound leg that you see on Minerals Live at no cost to you, so you don't have to pay the outbound shipping. So not only do you get a great value on the mineral specimen, but you don't have to pay for the shipping.
I guess that brings us to specimen number 3. And you thought the last couple were a good deal. This thing is a steal.
Now,
I
Christopher
was shocked
Clark.
I found this.
Christopher Clark is a lover of fluorite.
He's probably going to. If you don't buy this, he will.
I've done it before, so I give everybody plenty of time now.
Right.
And this one is so cheap. This is sort of like just leaving a tip on the table at the restaurant. Why don't you talk about this one, Christopher?
So, yeah, fluorite and quartz, Fujian province. I've got a lot of these in my collection, these Chinese quartzes from Fujian. You get some great color, great zoning, wonderful luster. I really like it when you have that contrast with the white quartz. You know, you've got several different Chinese localities where you have this really frosty white quartz just setting a perfect background for the colorful fluorite on them there. And I just I like an aesthetic mineral too. I like the way that this particular little guy is just surrounded on all framed really by the white, and then it's just got this one little, you know, almost like a little stalactite, coming right, or stalagmite, like whichever way it grew, you know, right above there. You know.
Now, I didn't look at this before the show. Are these cubic crystals, or are they modification of the cube?
I think they're modified.
Okay.
My table keeps getting hung up.
And then, you know, size, you've got 6.3 by 7.5 by 3 centimeters. So that's it's be a
3-inch across. Although it seems bigger than that on the turntable.
It does look. But it looks about right.
From front to back. The depth of the piece.
Yeah, the depth is the 3 centimeters. Yeah, 6.3 by 7.5 across.
It just seemed bigger than 3 inches across to me from a distance, but I'm only looking with one eye, so what do I know?
But it's a really cute little piece.
It is.
Believe the price.
It's a wonderful thing.
Absolutely a steal. And this is one of those that, you know, you're not breaking the bank in any way, shape, or form. You probably got this in your pocket.
Yep.
But this one's $150.
Yep. There you go, folks. It's official.
Isn't that attractive for $150?
It really is.
Right.
3 inches across, a nice little stalactiform quartz knob sticking up there with the vibrant. Is that, to my eye, it looks like it's a bluish purple fluorite.
Well, it's zoned. It's a little bit of green, kind of a seafoam green, and then a bit of a darker bluish, almost going to a violet there. Yeah.
Lovely
but
piece.
Really, really clear cubes that you get down there.
Yeah, quite lovely.
Yep. Heck of a little piece.
A lot of luster on the quartz too.
Show it in hand there.
There we go.
Get it against your hand, your shirt or my shirt, the black.
There we go.
Anyway.
Yeah.
It's going to look smaller in my hands. But yeah, those form on that. Yeah, so not cubes there.
Yeah.
And that modified
I'm not
form.
an expert crystallographer. But there you go.
Really lovely.
Yep. Very good.
Fujian province in China.
Take advantage of that one, folks.
For sure.
$150. You can't go wrong with that one.
Yep. And that brings us to specimen number 4, which is also a fluorite specimen. I guess I better go here since it's not on the turntable yet. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Nice little spinel from Morongo.
Isn't that nice? Yeah. And very gemmy, highly lustrous. A lot of these Spinel Law twin crystals from the Orongo area have this very bright solution etched surface, and this one shows it really very well. And it's interesting the difference in color between the turntable and the lighting there, and the lighting that was
in the photo studio.
Yeah. Because in person here in the office, it's more of almost a lighter blue color, and in the lighting in the photo studio, it looked a whole lot more purple. And very deep purple color in some areas.
Again, such a stark black background.
Yeah.
I thought about putting it on a white background. But
and you're a lot of it too is you're picking up that purple you're picking up there. Some people call it that kind of brushed because it looks like almost like a dry brush of purple paint on the surface. Just that little splash of color in those little zones there.
We get some very large shipments from southern Africa. It's one of the things every year we buy several large shipments of minerals from the Orongo region, from the Cacavelde, and from other areas throughout southern Africa. And it's one of my favorite things in every shipment that we unwrap that comes in from southern Africa are these beautiful Spinel law single crystals of fluorite and clusters. This one looks like it has a couple of the Spinel law twinned fluorite crystals, and they're just classic specimens from this Orongo region in Namibia. So it's really a wonderful specimen. And here Richard has photographed it looking across these Spinel law twins,
right?
So you can really see the way in which they form. Just quite lovely, good luster, great color, and some color zonation, and very transparent. They're really gemmy fluorites. And here again, you're looking at a good miniature size specimen. What's the overall size, Richard, of this one?
It's 3.6 by 4.7 by 3.4 centimeters.
Right, and the largest of the fluorite twins is 3.7 centimeters across. And just a really wonderful miniature size specimen showing this unusual habit of crystallization in fluorite. And
time to start your worldwide fluorite collection.
I agree.
It sure is. For only $300 bucks on this one.
For $450, you get two great ones.
That's right. You don't see that very often in the mineral world anymore.
Nope. So
great pieces.
Absolutely.
And like I say, don't hesitate to send Richard an email at minerals@collectorsedge.com, because he will tomorrow morning be logging in and seeing who's ordered which piece, and those he'll wrap up and send out to you so that you can take a serious look at it.
You didn't get the memo, Steve. I've got the next 2 days off.
Oh, is that right?
I took a little vacation.
Well, good. I'm happy to hear it. I did not know.
But I will get your order fulfilled, I promise.
And your emails will be in queue, because he will be eagerly awaiting their arrival.
I read them, but I just won't be here to pack and ship. But anyway.
This next one is really pretty. Isn't this a cute little specimen?
Specimen number 5.
I love it.
I love these combos.
Each summer, the Collector's Edge works with our partners in both mining the concretions in which these colorful beer bottle colored barite crystals with bright yellow calcite are found in. And then when they find concretions out of all of them they look at, there'll be some that are filled with fossils, some that are completely solid inside, but occasionally there'll be a vug where there is some calcite that is grown on the interior, and then some beautiful, gemmy, lustrous beer bottle colored barite specimens. And these golden barites are American mineral classics. In fact, they were highlighted in the American Mineral Treasures book and competition from a decade or more ago in Tucson. And you can see as this goes around on the turntable, you're seeing all the way through that beautiful amber-colored barite crystal. Just really well-formed, razor-sharp, highly lustrous, great color, and this is a very aesthetic miniature size specimen.
Love these little guys, and that's almost got like a little bit of a chisel shape to that termination too. I love it when they have that sharp termination,
and it's lustrous on the termination. A lot of times, and I don't know why this is with the barite, on that chisel type termination, it tends to be very susceptible to later solutions that come in and create an etched surface on those particular crystal faces. The more prism-like faces rising up on the crystal are nowhere near as susceptible as the terminal faces are to that etching. And so this is bright and lustrous all the way around and has super color contrast between the amber, dark amber barite crystals and the vibrant yellow calcite on which it sits. This is really a lovely specimen. Does this have any repair at all?
It has one repair.
One repair.
Yeah, the barite is cleaved right at the very bottom, but they did a really good job.
Really good reattachment on this. I was wondering, because this seems so inexpensive.
So cheap, right?
I was wondering if it was completely repaired.
Right.
What's the overall size of this one, Rich?
Overall dimensions are 3.8 by 4.5 by 4.5 centimeters.
Yeah, so a great miniature size piece.
Yep.
If you don't have an example of this American classic, you cannot go wrong with this piece.
Right.
Especially at the price that Richard's offering it at today.
Yep.
This is a really great bargain.
$200.
Yeah, this is a great piece.
And talking about, like, doing worldwide collections, Barites, that's one of the ones that, was a later one I started collecting, and it just amazed me how many locations, how many varieties, colors, forms.
Right.
Yeah, different crystal forms.
Great variety to collect.
It really is. It's a great species to collect, and the barite on this one measures 3.2 centimeters tall, so it's over an inch tall, and the calcites are unusually large on this. Often they're just a druze on matrix. These, the individuals, are up to 1.5 centimeters, or up to one. That's unusually large. So this is a great piece, folks, for $200. Elk Creek, Meade County, South Dakota is where these come from.
Christopher is suggesting we give it the UV.
Sure, why not? Let's see if it'll...
I love this because I know
here.
the barites will go crazy. Sometimes the calcite will.
Oh, the
light up a little
calcite
bit.
is very fluorescent here, but we've got so much light
Other
on the
lighting,
piece.
yeah.
But boy, look at
It's
that
just
barite.
not-
I
yeah.
love how that barite gets that blue color on it too.
Yep.
It's really fun.
Yeah, super stuff.
You know me, I like the optical stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think you should buy every single piece so far in the show.
Yeah. I think so too.
I get a really good deal. I went my extra effort this week to find
For sure.
good values.
You really did, and these are screaming good deals from top to bottom. And we're really excited to spend a little bit of time talking about the last specimen.
Right.
We'll go a little bit more in depth about how these have come to market, but let's talk a little bit about the specimen number 6.
There it is.
And what in the world is this, Christopher?
So this is a Paraiba tourmaline, not a just a cuprian tourmaline, not a Paraiba-like tourmaline from Nigeria or Mozambique. This is a true Brazilian Paraiba tourmaline. So you've got a tourmaline crystal colored by copper and manganese, and you can have it in trace amounts in other places, but it takes more, like a significant amount. It's not just certain parts per million, tens parts per million. It takes hundreds of parts per million for you to start getting this intensity of color. And you can get that blue. You can get a blue. You can get a light blue from iron through indicolite tourmaline, but the quality is different. Paraiba tourmalines, regardless of their locality, they just have a much stronger intensity, of vibrancy, and a very, very unique hue. You can get a fairly wide range, so they can go anywhere from the blues through greenish blues into green and yellowish green is typically what's considered Paraiba tourmaline, but they're all going to have this real electric vibrancy to the color.
Yeah. And the ones that I really love are the turquoise blue to the electric blue that this produces. Isn't that an incredible gemstone?
Yeah,
Talk a
absolutely.
little bit about how this impact the gemstone market.
Well, tourmalines are, in every color, and you'd find them with gemstones, and they weren't particularly as coveted a gemstone as they are now. They were semi-precious stones. But then you start getting into these being found and coming out in colors unlike anything anyone's ever seen before, and put these on the map. And this is one of those examples where I don't like the term semi-precious and precious gemstones, because you can have a middling quality sapphire, ruby, or emerald, and a top quality Paraiba tourmaline is just going to blow it out of the water. And who's to say this is not a precious gemstone versus the traditional big ones? And these tourmalines jumped right up there with things like alexandrite, and really kind of made everybody more aware of all of the other fine quality of colors around them, and really I think put tourmalines more on the map in general for gemstones. But as much as I saw it from there, you guys didn't see a blip on the map.
Yeah, what's really interesting about this is that these particular copper-bearing elbaites were found in 1988 at the Batalha mine, and I'm sure I'm slaughtering the Portuguese on that, from Brazil. But anyway, I'm going to call it the Batalha mine, and it made a huge impact on the gemstone market. But if you go to Mindat and look at these Paraiba tourmalines and what was available for all these years since Mindat came around, there's probably less than 20 pictures of mineral crystals from any of the Brazil. There's 3 Brazilian localities for mining these copper-rich tourmalines, and there's a handful of mineral specimens in those since 1988 that have come to market. And what's really been fun for the Collector's Edge is that Brian, our owner, has been working very closely with the owners of the Brazil Paraiba mine, one of the 3 localities, and actually the largest producer of Paraiba tourmaline in Brazil. And so he's been working very closely with them to not only make sure that they're able to bring their beautiful gemstone material to market, but we said, gee, collectors would love to be able to own a crystal specimen of this copper-bearing tourmaline in their crystal collection, because so many people have developed a area of specialization in their collections in the tourmaline family, and whether it's from Paprock or Paideneira or other Cruzeiro or other worldwide localities for tourmaline, people love all of the bright colors, the reds, the greens, the indicolites, the yellowish tourmalines you can get from some areas, and so they're fascinated by it. But these copper-bearing ones have such a different hue than you're used to from any other locality. They took over the gemstone market, and now our company is working directly with the mine owners of the Brazil Paraiba mine, and we're starting to get some crystal specimens to be available to the collectors around the world. Our first debut of these specimens was at Tucson, at the Tucson Fine Mineral Gallery, and we actually had a very small lot, and there'll never be a huge abundance of these. The pieces that we were able to market in Tucson were first found in 2004. That's when they found the rough. These crystals were frozen in quartz, and they had to be prepared by the Brazil Paraiba company as well as the Collector's Edge, working in concert together to get these etched out of the quartz and then tuned up so they looked beautiful as mineral specimens, trimmed and cleaned. And they're really fascinating things. They're associated, not only a lot of them are growing within quartz, have been surrounded by quartz, but there's also some spodumene that we're seeing in some of the specimens, and very interesting, and you don't see it all that often. You see it occasionally in tourmaline, where lepidolite is actually replacing the elbaite, and so we're getting partial crystals where you have a turquoise blue termination or upper section of the crystal, and you have the lepidolite at the base just above this quartz matrix. And so it's fascinating, the specimens that we've been able to bring to market. And we're only going to be able to show you one on the show today, but if you have an interest in acquiring one for your tourmaline collection, we have more of these available for sale. There'll always be a limited number. Like I say, the materials was found in 2004, and I don't know how much in current mining they're finding any of these that are frozen within the quartz. It's very reminiscent of what happened at the Cadmium Emerald mine, where they found some big quartz boulders and asked the Collector's Edge to liberate those emerald crystals from the surrounding quartz, and we made some beautiful matrix emerald specimens from the Cadmium mine. Well, this is very similar in that these crystals have been frozen within this milky quartz and has to be removed from around these crystals without damaging the crystals. And so it's just wonderful what we've been able to bring to market, and we're going to show you one on the air today.
Sure. And just so everybody knows where the name Paraiba came from, it is actually a state in Brazil where these folks are working.
Yep.
Not the most common area for mining in Brazil.
Right.
Everybody thinks of Minas Gerais, but
yeah, this is out of the Rio Grande do Norte area within Brazil.
Which it's interesting. You look at the geology on this, and going back, you've got how Brazil just kind of nestles into Africa. Back in ancient times, and you've got Nigeria and Mozambique, so all these areas kind of connected at one point. But I'm not aware of any specimens of Paraiba coming out of Nigeria or Mozambique.
Yeah, we haven't really seen many. The thing about it is, it's so valuable as a cut stone. Nobody's bothering to produce mineral specimens. They're finding them, cutting them, and they're going into jewelry. So it is quite rare and unusual that the Collector's Edge has been able to bring these to market, and I think you'll really love them. Like I say, we're only going to be able to show you one small piece on the air today, but if you have interest, get a hold of Richard, minerals@collectorsedge.com. We'd be happy to send you more information about these specimens.
Absolutely.
And there's a little bit of that pseudomorphism going on.
There is.
There.
Isn't that cool? Yeah, a little bit of the lepidolite down in contact with the quartz on this one. And this one is got some nice gemminess to the tourmaline crystal. I'm seeing some of the black through of our background as he photographed it. So you can see how vibrant that copper-bearing tourmaline is in color.
Yeah, and that was one of the things you saw me playing around with it with the microscope there earlier, too. The material is actually very crystalline. It's just, not high clarity.
Gotcha.
Yep. What's the
Very
size
pretty,
of this one, Rich?
This one measures 3.4 by 2.9 by 3 centimeters.
So kind of a nice toenail-sized specimen. Now, one of the things you'll notice, and this is just the nature of the way these occurred, there have not been so far, and that isn't to say we won't find some that exhibit a more well-formed termination, but most of these, the terminations are not complete on these crystals. They're mostly the prism faces that are real nicely formed, but the terminations are not.
Right.
So now the deposits for these are where the tourmaline intruded into the quartzite. Does that have something to do with why we're tending to not see that, or?
I think the quartz came in around the tourmaline, but that would be my guess.
Very pretty.
Yeah.
Get back to the turntable. There it is.
Yeah.
And we're trying
just gorgeous color contrast. And I love that little hint of lepidolite down at the base of the tourmaline.
Yep.
And that elbaite crystal is 2.2 centimeters in length above the quartz matrix.
Right.
So it's a very nice toenail-sized mineral specimen. and we're going to try to give you the very best price we can on this today.
Yeah, absolutely. And the ones with this little gemmary in it too as well.
Yeah, they're unusual.
They're unusual. So this is a really good little piece, especially for the price at $1,750.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a great specimen. Mm-hmm. And really, these are super rare, folks, to get the Paraiba tourmalines from Brazil, and to see them in a mineral specimen like this. There just aren't many of them available in the world, and we're thrilled to be able to work with the Brazil Paraiba mine folks and be able to bring these to the worldwide mineral market.
Yeah. Like I said, as I've said before, as a gem collector, become mineral collector, when I saw these, I was just giddy. Right. This was like, wow, I didn't know that existed.
Yeah.
You were saying when all your friends came into our room down there in Tucson, their head would just kind of snap to the left where the display was. So don't miss this opportunity, folks. It won't last long. So.
Yeah, and that was the thing where I was talking about it not being so much of a blip in the mineral collecting community, but being such a big deal for such a long time for gemstones. You know, all the gemologists who came in and saw them, like you could tell it was just all those years of knowing this material, and then seeing it like this just was like just mind blowing.
Well, it was funny about 5 or 6 years ago now, I guess, in the Tucson show at the Westward Look in our room, Brian always tries to put together some really spectacular material for our retail show locations, and he worked with several gem cutters to bring in some wonderful faceted gemstones, and we had. At one of those Westward Look shows, several very fine cut Paraiba tourmalines and faceted stones, and those were in the millions of dollars for something that to me looked no bigger than the size, smaller than a quarter. You know, it was like. They were in the millions of dollars, and they were smaller than a quarter. So it lets you know how the gemstone world appreciates these copper-bearing tourmalines as a super gemstone. Yeah.
Anyway, well, I guess that brings us to the end of another Minerals Live.
It is.
Sad but true.
And we'll be doing this again before too long.
Not too long at all. Hopefully next week. You are leaving on your trip about the 20th of March, I believe you said.
Yeah, we leave about
another
the
20th.
One or two in.
Yep, not a problem. Yeah. And this was a fun one. There are some great bargains that you offered in this show. Right. And I tell you what, I haven't personally bought a mineral specimen in a number of years. But that specimen number 1, I'm telling you, that's highly tempting to me because it's a super deal. 13.3 centimeters across, good amethyst color in the Cactus Quartz from Bokenhoutsuk area, South Africa. Somebody's got to order that one because it's a killer at $625.
I agree.
And when you're watching these, you know, you're looking forward to seeing the next Minerals Alive. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, ring the little bell, and you'll get notified when we have the next one. And in the comments below, if there are varieties you'd like to see or you'd like to hear a little bit more about, just comment down below, and we can see about including those on future Minerals Lives.
Absolutely. And before we bid adieu, we got to give Alan a plug. Don't miss his Instagram live shows. He's going like 12 times a week.
I know, he really is. And he's selling the wheels off material on Instagram. He's really showing some great stuff. In fact, I will be spending some time with him on Thursday, and we're going to have a special show about topaz. So it will be fun to look at a number of different topaz localities from around the world. And he usually pulls 30 to 40 specimens together to offer for sale on his Instagram Live. So tune in on Thursday.
And Friday we selected out some spectacular fluorites as well. Worldwide.
Good.
Fluorite Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It could be a running series.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway, thanks for tuning in, everybody.
See you later.
We'll catch you next time on the next edition of Minerals Live.
See you again soon.
Yep.